Cities and towns across the country continue to protest in response to the death of George Floyd, and many have questions about what they should do to safely participate. Amy Kawada joins us now with some safety tips to keep in mind from local experts if you plan to take part.
It's been nearly 3 weeks of protests and demonstrations across the nation for the Black Lives Matter movement.
We're seeing everybody come together in the protests, and so that increases the opportunity for transmission among various communities.
The large gatherings bring concerns for a potential second wave of COVID-19 cases. And at the same time, a majority of the state is moving further into reopening Maryland.
The reality is that we are still in a pandemic. We are still in a global pandemic where we don't have a vaccine and we don't have an effective treatment.
Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer at Johns Hopkins Medicine, Sharita Golden, says if you plan to join a protest, make sure you do so safely and start by wearing a mask.
Remember, when you take the mask off, the louder we talk, the more we shout, the further the particles can travel.
And make sure you wear them appropriately.
I've seen like a lot of this or a lot of the mask down here. Like, you really got to cover your nose and mouth completely. People think, okay, if I have a mask on, then that means I can get closer to you, and that's not true. It's a combination.
While social distancing during a protest could be difficult, it's important to still take precautionary measures, such as bringing hand sanitizer and having your phone covered in plastic to avoid spreading germs. Then, after you've attended a protest, be mindful of who you're exposing yourself to.
So if you have older family members, people with chronic conditions who wouldn't do as well with COVID, I would avoid being in contact with those individuals, for 14 days just to make sure.
And if you have attended any protests recently, experts recommend you to get tested for COVID-19 as soon as possible to be safe. For WJZ, I'm Amy Kawada.